So let me guess. You've been to the gym before and it didn't go as planned, and that's why you're watching this video, right? Maybe you've been to the gym for the past maybe 3, maybe 5 years, maybe more. You know that fitness is important and you really want to make it work. But the thing is, you don't want to be a gym rat. You hate that. The reason you want to get in shape is to improve your life, and you don't want to give up your life for the sake of getting in shape. I get it. I get it. Maybe you have a business. Maybe you're super busy, right? But you still know that this is a very important part of your life and you want to get it handled. Maybe you've bought a program before. Maybe you've even worked with a coach before. And maybe you made some progress, but then something happened, right? You got busy, you changed countries, you got married, you went on vacation, for fuck's sake. And everything went to shit, and all the progress that you made crumbled. I've been there before, and I've seen many men being there before. And let me tell you, the problem is not you, at least not entirely. The problem is that you're approaching fitness the wrong way. Let's take a step back and think about where your beliefs around fitness came from, right? So maybe you got inspired by someone on social media or a magazine if you're old like me, and you are like, oh, I want that look. And so you went on to pursue that look, right? You pursue the aesthetics of it. And the thing is, that's not fitness, that's bodybuilding. And bodybuilding is the sport of chasing the look. And the problem is, most people care about the looks. Most men, most people. That's what they care about the most. So you chase the looks, right? What's the problem with chasing looks? Let's think about PR, public relationships of a business, right? And let's think about how that business wants to be spoken about in a certain way in the media and in Google reviews and all that, right? There's 2 ways to go about it. One way is you can control every single piece of media that's going to come out. You can filter and polish every single Google review that's going to come out to show the exact things that you want. Does that work? Potentially. Is that an awful lot of work to manage consistently? Fucking right it is. The other way, to be spoken about in a positive way, is build a business that is worth talking about in the way that you want. If you want to be perceived as trustworthy, as competent, as the type of business that gives the customers what they want, that's what they're going to talk about. And that's a different approach altogether. And that's simpler because then you have a North Star. You need to start thinking about fitness in the exact same way. You need to stop thinking about looks as this thing that you chase, and you need to start thinking about looks as this thing that's inevitable when you become, or as you become, the man that's capable, that's strong, that's athletic, right? The fitness industry is selling you the looks because that makes sense. That makes logical sense that you're going to do that. But what you want to be doing instead is chasing the capabilities. And let me give you an example so you understand what I mean. Let's say you want to build a really big, muscular, lean back, right? Maybe biceps as well, right? And so what you do? Well, you want biceps, right? So you should do bicep curls. And you want the 2 heads of the biceps, that's why it's called bicep, the 2 heads of the bicep to be big. So you do one exercise for one head and one exercise for the other. And then you also want the back, which has the lats and the traps and the rhomboids and the whole thing. And so what do? You find exercises for all of them. And suddenly, to build back and biceps, you have 20 exercises that you have to manage, right? Instead, what about trying to get as strong as possible with weighted pull-ups? And picture this in your head. Imagine being a man that can do 5 sets of 5 reps of weighted pull-ups with 40 kilos added on a belt. Can you imagine that man having small biceps or a small back? I can't. If you have any common sense, you can't either, right? So now we've changed the approach from trying to get the look to being strong in something very specific and trusting that the looks will come as a result of that. So that's what I suggest, and that's what I'm telling you to. That's the way I'm telling you to think about fitness from now on. Stop chasing the looks. Every time you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, like I don't feel good about how I look. Right? Every time you get dressed for a dinner date or get dressed to go to a board meeting and the jacket doesn't fit. Every time you do any of these things, don't think, oh, I need to fix this look. I am the type of man that looks this way. I need to change who I am. I need to change the things that I demand of my body so that my body is forced to change. And if you reframe it in this way, now everything changes for you because you stop chasing the looks, so you stop looking for shortcuts like peptides, steroids, crash diets, and the whole thing, and you start chasing capabilities instead. And now it becomes fun because you see the capability improve. And now that ties back into your identity. And when you do that, that's what allows you to have longevity in the game as well. Because when you've tried things before, you were trying to get the look. And then the moment the look faded away because your life collapsed or you got busy with something else, the look went away. And now your original motivation is gone and you don't want to do it all over again. But capabilities stay. And, the moment you fell off, you go back in the game and you go back to the game of building capabilities and looking good as a result. And that's going to change everything for you.